Brittany Killgore was the wife of a Marine.
Had this young woman who was at a transitional point in her life. She was packing up and getting ready to go home to her family, and she vanished.
This was a once-in-a-lifetime case. Just the twisted motivations behind this case was overwhelming.
Brittany Killgore was born on March 28, 1990, in Rolla, Missouri, to her parents Michelle and Darrell Rest. She was a loved daughter and sister, known for being funny and kind. Her family said she had a great sense of humor, possibly the best in the family. Brittany used to be shy and lacked confidence, but things changed as she got older. At 18, she started dating Corey Killgore, which surprised her parents because she had always been quiet. They were happy to see her trying new things. Corey was her first boyfriend, and their relationship moved fast. After just 2 months, they were already discussing marriage. On July 17, 2010, the young couple got married in their hometown of Rolla. Brittany's mother, Michelle, said it was the happiest she had ever seen her daughter. Soon after the wedding, Brittany and Corey moved to Fallbrook, California, near Camp Pendleton, where Corey was starting Marine boot camp. Brittany's parents were nervous at first about the couple moving out since neither had lived alone before. However, they felt more at ease in knowing the couple would be close to a military base, thinking it would keep them safe. Brittany and Corey were excited to start their new life together in California, enjoying their marriage and exploring the state's attractions. But after a while, the excitement wore off, and as a young couple, they started facing relationship challenges. It became clear shortly after they moved to California that the relationship was in trouble. Brittany eventually told her friend, April Perkins, that she was unhappy in her marriage and wanted a divorce. The turning point came when Corey was sent to Afghanistan in early 2012. Brittany saw this as an opportunity to end the marriage and start fresh. On April 10, 2012, she filed for divorce and started planning to move back to her family. She was supposed to fly to her parents' home in Pennsylvania on April 18, but she never made that flight. On the afternoon of April 13, 2012, Brittany was packing her things with her friend Chani Tao when 45-year-old Marine Staff Sergeant Luis Perez unexpectedly showed up. Perez, who lived nearby with his girlfriend Dorothy Marilino and another woman named Jessica Lopez, was someone Brittany knew through a mutual friend, Elizabeth Hernandez. Elizabeth had started inviting Brittany to hang out at Perez and Marilino's place to help with her homesickness. Although Brittany liked Marilino, she rarely interacted with Perez, so his visit was unexpected. Perez surprised Brittany by inviting her to a dinner cruise on the Hornblower ship in San Diego that night, saying he had an extra ticket he didn't want to waste. Brittany turned him down, feeling uneasy about it and unsure if Marilino would approve. Perez left soon after, but then Brittany texted him asking for help moving her stuff. Seizing the chance, Perez agreed to send 5 men to help her the next morning if she joined him on the cruise. To ease Brittany's concerns, Perez had Marilino call her. Marilino sounded upbeat, laughing and encouraging Brittany to go on the cruise, claiming that she couldn't go because she was pregnant and would get seasick. Reassured by Marilino's call, Brittany finally relented. At 6:10 p.m., she texted Perez to confirm that she would go. Brittany then asserted to Chani that she had no interest in the man and only agreed because of the help he promised. Besides, she had been wanting to go on a dinner cruise and thought this might be her last chance before moving back home. As she waited for Perez to arrive, a sense of unease persisted. The situation felt odd, and she still couldn't quite grasp why Perez had suddenly asked her out. As a precaution, Brittany provided Chani with Perez and Marilino's phone numbers, asking her to call them in case anything happened. At 7:39 p.m., Brittany messaged another friend, Jessica Perry, informing her that she was going on a dinner cruise and might visit her afterward. About a minute later, Perez arrived, and the two left shortly thereafter. At 7:50 p.m., just 10 minutes after Brittany had gotten into Perez's car, Chani received a disturbing one-word text from her friend, "Help." Panic-stricken, Chani immediately began calling Brittany. At 8:05 p.m., she received a text from Brittany saying, "Yes, I love this party." This only made Chani more suspicious, knowing that Brittany never spoke like that. So, she insisted that Brittany call her right away to confirm that everything was okay. About 5 minutes later, Chani received a call from Brittany's phone, but all she could hear was loud music. Shortly after, she received a message from her, explaining that the music was too loud for her to talk. Still worried, Chani decided to inform their other friends about the situation. At 8:21 p.m., Elizabeth got a hold of Marilino, but the latter denied seeing or speaking with Brittany throughout the day. At 8:40 p.m., Jessica managed to reach Perez. When asked about Brittany's whereabouts, he explained that they hadn't gone on the dinner cruise as planned. Instead, they went to a San Diego downtown club called Whiskey Girl. Perez added that he last saw Brittany talking to some men outside the club and assumed she left with one of them. Brittany's friends found this story unbelievable as she was never the type to do that. Brittany is 100% not the person to just go meet guys at a bar and leave with them. Throughout the rest of the evening, Brittany's loved ones anxiously awaited her call, but no one heard from her. The next morning, April 14, 2012, Elizabeth learned from Chani that Marilino had indeed spoken with Brittany the previous night. Realizing she'd been deceived, Elizabeth called Marilino to confront her. In a panic, Marilino handed the phone to Perez, who insisted that he had left Brittany at the club. Later that day, Brittany's mother, Michelle, received a call from her daughter's phone, only for a man's voice to come from the other end. The man turned out to be a homeless individual from San Diego, claiming he found the phone in the area. Since San Diego was quite a distance from Fallbrook, where Brittany lived, Michelle was convinced that something was seriously wrong. Meanwhile, Elizabeth and Chani went to Brittany's apartment to check if she had returned. Finding no sign of her, they reported her missing to the Fallbrook Sheriff's Office. Police officers soon arrived at Brittany's apartment to begin their investigation. Not long after, Elizabeth received a call from Perez, offering to help search for Brittany by driving them around. However, Elizabeth informed him that authorities were already involved. Since he was the last person to see Brittany, investigators asked him to come to the apartment complex for an interview. Although Perez sounded anxious on the phone, he agreed. At this point, the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, NCIS, also joined the investigation. The tragic story of Brittany Killgore centers around a horrifying conspiracy involving Luis Perez, Dorothy Marilino, and Jessica Lopez, who were all deeply involved in a twisted and abusive master-servant relationship. Brittany, a 22-year-old Marine's wife, was reported missing in April 2012 after being picked up by Perez under the pretense of going on a dinner cruise. Initially, Perez claimed he had dropped Brittany off at a nightclub, but inconsistencies in his story and forensic evidence soon pointed to his involvement. Police discovered that Perez, Marilino, and Lopez led an alternative lifestyle that was disturbing and abusive. A subsequent investigation into Perez revealed a secret life of manipulation, targeting vulnerable women and pushing them into their toxic dynamic. When Brittany went missing, phone data placed her in Fallbrook, where Perez, Marilino, and Lopez lived. Upon searching Perez's SUV, police found incriminating evidence including gloves and a stun baton with Brittany's DNA, and shortly after, a letter written by Lopez was found, confessing to Brittany's murder. In the confession, Lopez detailed the events leading to Brittany's death, which involved torture and strangulation, with Perez and Marilino as key participants. The authorities found Brittany's body near Lake Skinner, confirming the worst fears of her family and friends. The trial revealed that Brittany had been targeted as part of a sadistic plot crafted by Perez and Marilino. All three were found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without parole. The case, with its disturbing details, has left an indelible mark on Brittany's loved ones, but they continue to honor her memory through scholarships and charitable efforts. Brittany's tragic story serves as a reminder of the importance of listening to one's instincts and the dangers that can lurk behind deceptive appearances. Brittany Killgore's murder not only devastated her family and friends but also deeply shocked the military community and those who knew her. In the aftermath of her death, her loved ones worked tirelessly to preserve her memory and ensure that her story serves as a cautionary tale for others. They believe that her legacy can help raise awareness about the potential dangers of abusive relationships, manipulation, and coercion, particularly in situations where vulnerability is exploited. Her family established scholarships and charitable funds in her honor, offering assistance to those in need and creating opportunities for young people, ensuring that Brittany's name is associated with hope, kindness, and the values she lived by. Her story has been featured in documentaries, books, and news outlets, allowing her legacy to reach even wider audiences. For those closest to her, remembering Brittany as a vibrant, loving, and funny young woman has been a way of coping with the unimaginable loss. The painful reality of her final moments and the cruelty she endured are contrasted by the immense love her family continues to feel for her. They speak of her life rather than her death, cherishing memories of her laughter, friendship, and the joy she brought to those around her. In particular, Brittany's father, Daryl, expressed the overwhelming grief of a parent losing a child, and the profound sorrow of knowing the suffering she faced. As he reflected, no words can truly capture the agony of imagining what she went through. Brittany's case serves as a stark reminder of how dangerous certain manipulative relationships can become, especially when abusers use psychological control to trap their victims. The master-servant dynamic between Perez, Marilino, and Lopez revealed the dark depths of human control and subjugation, a dynamic that ultimately led to Brittany's tragic fate. The case also demonstrated how seemingly ordinary people can hide sinister secrets, with Perez's outward appearance as a Marine masking his predatory behavior. While justice was served with the life sentences handed to Perez, Marilino, and Lopez, the emotional scars left on Brittany's family and friends will never fully heal. For them, the closure provided by the convictions can never undo the horror of her death. Yet, through their determination to honor her life, they have turned unimaginable grief into a force for good, ensuring that Brittany's story is one that continues to inspire change and vigilance in the face of abuse. Brittany Killgore's legacy is a lasting reminder that, even in the darkest of circumstances, the love of family and friends can endure, and through their efforts, her life will never be forgotten. In the years following Brittany Killgore's tragic death, her family and friends have sought to find solace in keeping her memory alive through various tributes and initiatives. One of the most impactful ways they have honored her is by establishing scholarships in her name. These scholarships serve to help young people, much like Brittany, pursue their educational dreams and build a brighter future. By empowering others in her name, her loved ones hope to create something positive out of such a devastating loss. In addition to scholarships, charitable organizations have been founded in her memory to support causes that were important to Brittany, such as helping victims of abuse and raising awareness about the dangers of manipulative and coercive relationships. Her family has been vocal about the lessons her story can teach others, emphasizing the importance of trusting your instincts and recognizing the signs of dangerous individuals who prey on vulnerability. They have often expressed that Brittany's tragic death should serve as a warning to others about how quickly a situation can turn deadly when trust is misplaced. The media attention surrounding Brittany's case has also played a crucial role in ensuring that her story remains in the public consciousness. Documentaries and news specials have delved deep into the investigation, uncovering the disturbing details of Perez, Marilino, and Lopez's secret lives. These programs not only memorialize Brittany's life but also expose the toxic relationships that led to her death. By shining a light on the darker aspects of this case, these documentaries have contributed to a broader understanding of how abuse can take on many forms, including emotional and psychological manipulation. Brittany's murder, and the courtroom drama that followed, also brought attention to the justice system's role in addressing crimes of this nature. The trial, which lasted for several weeks, saw all three defendants, Perez, Marilino, and Lopez, attempting to place the blame on each other. However, the prosecution's solid case, built on forensic evidence, cell phone data, and the chilling confession written by Lopez, left little room for doubt about their guilt. The guilty verdicts brought some measure of justice to Brittany's family, although no amount of punishment could undo the harm that had been done. Even though Perez, Marilino, and Lopez will spend their lives in prison, the effects of their actions are still felt deeply. Brittany's family, especially her parents and close friends, feel her loss every day. Her father has shared his intense sorrow, thinking about the dreams and future that were taken from his daughter. Her friends also feel the pain, lamenting the moments Brittany will miss, like seeing them start families, celebrating achievements, and sharing new experiences. Even though Brittany's death was incredibly painful, her family and friends are dedicated to honoring the joyful, kind person she was. They come together for gatherings, memorials, and online tributes, sharing stories about the happiness she spread. Their efforts make sure that Brittany Killgore is remembered not just for her tragic end, but for the love, laughter, and kindness she shared in her 22 years. People who knew Brittany hope her story will inspire others to speak up when something feels wrong and to stay safe from harmful relationships. Although Brittany can't come back, her life and death teach important lessons that might prevent future tragedies. Her memory serves as a strong reminder to stay alert, show compassion, and seek justice, keeping her vibrant spirit alive.